Are you ready to see the grade of the Shadowless Charizard? What? No! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leonhart. We're more than a channel, we are a community. Today, I got some big news for everybody. Well, I guess big but bad on one end, and then big but awesome on the other end. Today, we are going back to Beckett Grading Services, and we are gonna pick up the Shadowless Charizard Pokemon card and the Grand Party card that I gave to them about 10 to 11 days ago, so they can grade it and we can see the value on it skyrocket. So we're gonna go back, we are gonna get the grades, and we're gonna see if we can get those 9.5s and 10s. The bad news, you saw, store closing sale. My Toys R Us is closing down. Unfortunately, of course, in the whole Dallas Metroplex, this Toys R Us, the one right by me, is the one that's closing down. So we're gonna go back to it. I went to it about 2 to 3 weeks ago. They didn't have that sign up, but they were doing a clearance sale. So we're gonna see if there's any more amazing deals, and then we're gonna head to Beckett, which is honestly, it's just like down the street. So we'll go after and hopefully get good news. No, it's true. It's closing and it's never opening again. What? The Pokemon cards are not in the same area that they normally are. We must investigate. So 20% on the action figures. I wonder if this little cute guy is 20% off too. And you. Boo! Excuse me, is there any Pokemon cards?
Pokemon cards.
They're not in their normal spot.
Those weren't on our sales, so they took them off our store.
Oh, they took the Pokemon cards away.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, when's the store closing?
April 16th.
April 16th. Oh, so it's gonna be here for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope everybody took a good look at the store. We have good news. It doesn't close until April 16th, which means I will be back and we are gonna see if there's even more outrageous deals later on. When it comes to April 16th, I mean, I'll be back, but this store is gonna be even more bare, and it's gonna get even more depressing when you see it get gradually more empty after day after day. So it's gonna get sad, but for now, where's the Pokemon cards? So we're at Beckett, and before we go inside, I want to lay out on the line all what it's at stake for the grades that we get back today for the 2 cards that I brought in. In the last vlog that I did, my trip to Beckett Grading Card Company, which you should go watch, but we have 2 cards, Shadowless Charizard card and the Grand Party Japanese card. Both of them are incredible cards. They're gorgeous cards, vintage cards. They came out well over 15 years ago, but here's the thing. Shadowless Charizard cards, the one I got is ranged between $100 to $300 worth. Right around that, in like between. And when you get it graded, it significantly jumps the value of the card. Not just because it protects the card, but you have an official grade from a respected company like Beckett or PSA. And so let me tell you just how much the card could be worth. So if it comes back a Beckett 8, which hopefully it does not, 8 to 8.5, because they do half points here at Beckett, it's gonna be only worth around, I believe, like maybe $5,000 to $1,000, probably around that range. If it comes back a Beckett 9, which for my guess on, I'll do the guess in a sec. If it comes back a Beckett 9, it is around $1,500 to $2,000. If it comes back a Beckett 9.5, and yes, the 0.5 is a big difference, the price range skyrockets to between $4,000 to $8,000, or maybe like $6,000. So it's a big difference from a 9 to 9.5, and then a 10. Don't even get me started. A 10 is probably like 16,000 or something. It's something crazy. So what I think I'm gonna get on my Shadowless Charizard card, I'm thinking I'm gonna get probably a 9. I would be surprised, but really happy, like super happy if I get a 9.5. Like, I think it could be a 9.5. I actually think, compared to my Grand Party card, I think that I should get a 9.5 on my Shadowless Charizard, and probably like, it'll probably be like a 9 on the Grand Party card. That's what I think. However, if you saw the previous vlog, Ian, who we may see again shortly, said that Japanese cards are much easier to get higher grades compared to vintage base set cards, so that could be one issue. Now the Grand Party card, the value for that, if it comes back like a 9, is probably like around $200 to $300. 9.5 is around $300, and then a 10, I don't even know if there is a 10 in a Beckett for it, but if it would be, it would skyrocket again. It would be really, really crazy for that card. So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna see the grades, and am I gonna go crazy? Probably, because I'm nervous right now. I don't know about y'all. Here in Beckett, in the same room that Ian and I are going to be talking again, but they gave me the box, and both of the cards are inside this box, and I'm very, very nervous because this is the difference between several $1,000s, but it's gonna be fun. So let's go ahead and I wanna have Ian come in here after I'm done looking at both of the cards and let you know just why it got that certain grade. Because believe me, if it gets a great grade, yay, but if it gets a bad grade, I'm gonna be like, "Grr." But let's take a look-see. Oh, all right. I think there is, here are the cards. This is the Grand Party. This is the Shadowless Charizard. So I did not see the grade, but we are about to look at it right now. For the Grand Party card, here we go. A 9.5. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting a 9.5. That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Wow. Let's take a quicker look, and I'll switch around the view. So here it is, the Grand Party card, came back at 9.5. Look at those scores. It had a perfect score for the surface. And then it had 9.5s for the rest of the score. So I'm gonna ask him just how many more 10s I needed to get it to be a pristine 10, but $19.99. Grand Party campaign trainer certification card with the little gold seal. There's the card, there's the back. But are you ready to see the grade of the Shadowless Charizard? Here we go. I'm really nervous about this one, but here, a 9. Oh no. I mean, I really can't complain about that. It is a 9 for the Shadowless Charizard card. Oh, I thought I was seriously gonna get a 9.5. For some reason, I was just holding hope that it would get a 9.5, but honestly, from this just sitting in somebody's collection and me buying it, and it to come back a 9, you can't complain, but let's take a closer look. Gorgeous, gorgeous card, but what? The surface is an 8.5. Centering 9.5. Corners in the edges are both 9s. But take a look at that. That is really, really gorgeous. Wow. With the silver plating seal, I really wished it would have came back in 9.5, but looking at a closer look at the scores right there, it was not even close to getting a 9.5. But we will ask Ian just why it got the grades it got. Hello, we have our favorite person back. Ian, how's it going?
Good, how's everyone doing?
They're doing amazing, but we have the 2 cards and we got the grades that came back for them. Can you go in a little bit more detail about each card and why they got their grades and kind of the more like sub-grades that they got?
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys watched the previous video, I kind of touched briefly on like the 4 different categories that we grade cards on. So today I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth on how each subgrade weighs for the overall grade. So normally to get so for instance a 9.5 here, to have like the bare minimum requirements would be to have 3 of the subgrades hit a 9.5, and then the last one has to be a 9.
Yeah.
That's like the bare minimum to hit one. So normally, so for that, and then, so in this case, you got a, what I call it a quad plus, so it's 3 9.5s and then a 10.
A quad plus?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's an extremely strong 9.5.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's definitely, I guess, like a stronger gem, and then it also has that perfect 10 on the surface overall. So.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of touched a little bit on it last video. So Japanese cards tend to grade a little bit easier, just because of the quality on them and everything like that.
Right.
So this is an awesome card. I'm a huge fan of this one as well.
Yeah,
so
it's a gorgeous looking card.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
question is, how many more 10s would I need to get it to a 10?
Yeah. So to hit a next 10, you would have to have 2 more 10s on one of the subgrades.
2 more 10s?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So like either the or any 3 of these could bump up. So
Okay.
another option that you can do, you are always able to review your graded cards with us. So normally you send them back to us, or you can drop them off like you do, and then I think it's like $5 to get it reviewed normally, and then if any of the subgrades bump, then you pay the difference on whatever turnaround time you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
then obviously we won't we don't like change the grade or anything like that normally, unless it actually bumps. So you don't have to like really worry about like the card coming back as like an 8 or something crazy like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good option.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it for a lot of people. Like maybe on your like first go around and you want to try it again. Usually like 2 to 3 times maybe if you're really close on something, or if you're like close to a 10 or on a card. I always recommend it, or hitting like the difference between like a 9 and a 9.5 is huge. So.
It's really big, especially for the Charizard.
Yeah. So let's talk about that one for a little bit. So this one did pretty well as well, considering it was a raw card that he.
It was I was
that's
just
awesome.
explaining before. It was just a raw card in somebody's collection that I bought.
Yeah, that's
and
super nice to just stumble across.
Yeah. So before you even get into it, why is the seal silver for that?
Oh, okay. So what we do, we do colorate the labels. So if you have a perfect 10 or a black label, is when all 4 subgrades are 10s, and that is the only one that actually has that black label.
Black
with,
label,
gold,
okay.
Gold lettering on it.
Okay.
And then our gem mints and our pristine 10s that aren't black labels always will have a gold label like this.
Okay.
And then I believe it's the 8.5s and the 9s have a silver label.
Had the silver. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for explaining.
Yeah, for sure.
But now you can kind of go into.
So this one, so we have. It's kind of it's a good example for this for sure. So it's a mint 9 overall. So we have 2 9s here, and then a 9.5 on the centering, and then an 8.5 on the surface. So another thing to note when you look at the overall grades, the centering and the corners for BGS have the most weight on our grades generally.
Okay.
So that's why you can have an 8.5 surface and it can bump up to a 9 as well.
Okay.
But say for instance, if this was like an 8 corner, I believe the highest grade it would come up is to an 8.5.
Okay.
So, but on the edges and the surface, it can come up, I think, a whole point.
Okay.
So if this surface, I think, was an 8, I think it could still pull all the way up to a 9. So that's just something to keep in mind when you look at the subgrades, and they do carry a lot of weight with them. So if you're looking at stuff, just be sure to be mindful of the subgrades.
Okay, so that centering with the 9.5.
Yeah, like that's really nice. That's
fantastic.
something really hard on a lot of like shadowless and first ed base, just because the cutting was weird back then.
Yeah.
So it's nice that it has a 9.5 centering for sure.
Right.
And it gives a potential to actually, you could send it in for a review to see if any other of the subgrades do end up bumping for you.
Okay, so you're saying that this 8.5 or even that 9 it can bump up at half point?
Yeah, if it reviews like they see that, oh yeah, maybe this can actually pull up to a 9.5, or the surface can pull up to a 9 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was like wondering about, like the surface for it.
Yeah.
I really thought the surface was at like one of the strong suits for it, but
Yeah,
I don't know, I may really consider that.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend it, especially on a high valued card like this, for sure, because the difference between a mint and a gem mint is drastic, as I'm sure many of you guys know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just something I wanted to touch on, because I didn't really get to get in depth with it on the last video. And I think you said a couple people had some more questions about it.
Yeah. And wait, one quick thing about this. So to get to a 9.5 for this, though, I would still need 3 9.5s, right?
So to get to a 9.5, Yeah, you would still. I think this may have to bump up to a 9, and then you have to have like
two more. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I think that's
that
what
makes me feel a little bit better of getting
yeah,
a 9
yeah.
instead of a 9.5, because just from a 9 to a 9.5, the value drastically changes.
Yeah, for sure.
So this makes me feel a little bit better, but a 9, I mean, that's gorgeous for a card that was sitting in a collection for over a decade.
Absolutely.
And it to come back a 9.
Yeah. Congrats on both. Because I know someone sent this in to you as well for this.
Somebody
one, right?
sent this in. His name was Josh. He
awesome.
sends a lot of like Japanese vintage cards, and he sent this in to me. So for it to be just in his collection and it came back a 9.5. I mean, that's incredible.
Sweet.
And it's a gorgeous card. It's one of my favorite cards of all time.
Yeah. I love having Ken's art on cards, like, because I think that's the only one that actually has like the birds like it, besides those old phone cards that are like $10,000 or something crazy amount. So it's really cool to see something that high
it's
profile.
great. And then I mean, then that's just like the OG himself. You got Charizard right here.
Okay, well, I want to thank Ian and Beckett once again for letting me interview him and going over why I got the grades on my specific cards. But you're seeing something. Where's my Charizard, Leonhart? I lost it. Okay, no, but really, I gave it back to Ian, and they're going to do that process where they're going to, like, a sort of appeal in a way in hopes of getting that surface grade of the card from an 8.5 to a 9, because it looks so prettier if it's a 9. But I do have this one with me right now, the Grand Party card. It is a 9.5 Gem Mint. So this guy is gorgeous, and I actually just looked up. This is the world's only Gem Mint Grand Party card from Beckett. So there's only one of these in the entire world, and I am holding it right now. This is it. And it is a gorgeous card. I am so happy that I got a 9.5 on this. Now, the Charizard, like I said before, I am more happy that it's not closer to a 9.5, because then that would just make me be like, oh, I was so close. But a 9, wow, and that card's value just skyrocketed. It's probably worth between $1,500 to $2,000 right now, but I have to wait 10 days before it comes back because they're gonna do the appeal process again. But now it's up to you, the Heart Squad, to let me know in the comment section after thumbs upping this video, which card did you like better if you can have it? Would you have the Gem Mint Grand Party card, or would you have the Mint Shadowless Charizard base set card? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll go through them as I always do, leaving you some hearty love. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be doing more how to grade Pokemon card videos and as such, but you can leave your comments and questions in the comment section below, and I will try to answer them accordingly. But my name is Leonhart. Stay awesome, stay positive, and as always, I'll see y'all in my next video.